up again. They sleep, we wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah. Wake up, the cake up. Raise up, or make us do something. We don't want to bite down on you. Right now, on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the race for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Where the right flag, they forfeiting it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I'm gonna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No texting.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Texans. For a berth in Super Bowl 53, away we go. The 2019 AFC Championship game is underway. The first carry now for Marshawn Lynch. Lynch busting free. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And it completes it to Jordan Nelson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. First down, the run with Lynch. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On second down, Lynch. And a short gain down to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down.
Down, 180. 6-18.
Shotgun now for Carr. And that one complete to Marshawn Lynch. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And some room to maneuver. Still going. Now he lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Black 39 Billy. Down. Black 22. Black 22.
On second down, here's Miller. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Richmond.
On first down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cliff Averill in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
He's going to air one out. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Third and long, it's Watson. They convert on third with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They go back to the ground now with Miller, and able to work his way down to the 16. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Reset. Richmond.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Come back. Richmond.
Jackson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
They'll start on the ground with Lynch. They find some open field here. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
694. 637. 29. 29.
Carr now on first down. Steps away to his left. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Throwing again. Carr. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. Tally that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Now Carr throwing on second down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Carr now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Following the penalty, Lynch. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That one good for 14 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Lynch. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and goal. Rashard on the toss. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
On now is the field goal team here as the Raiders will try for 3. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Derek Johnson coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Back with more of the AFC Championship game after this. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Out of the gun, Watson. Being chased out left. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Come back, come back.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Underneath for Miller. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Come back, come back.
To throw on second is Watson. Going for the deep ball. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, where they want to let their return guy touch it.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Flush to his right, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, 7:34. Down. Wide at 8.
Carr to throw on second down. He'll check this down to Lynch, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Down. 180. 6:18. 7:34.
On first down, Carr. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney merciless. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. So we come upon halftime in the AFC title game, as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep for Hopkins. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Watson. And he finds his man, Griffin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. A first down carry now for Miller. And he's got room. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call backside. Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. Front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here's a give to Miller. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down.
Reset. Come back.
Watson on third down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans have broken the tie.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Give them a couple on the scramble. It's second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because it's a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And
he's going to go down. The Texans come at him, and able to bring him to the ground. Zach Cunningham not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And got his man complete. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Hey, 7:34.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And here comes the Texans now. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Miller. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Two jet. Richmond.
They'll try the air now with Watson. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Back now in Houston, it's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw, Watson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Tahir Whitehead. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now Carr. On the catch, it's Jarius Wright. And he's got this down to the 35. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. The 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8. Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now it's Ellington to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They keep it with Miller on 1st down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big-time play there for the Texans. 49 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the toss, here's Foreman. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Obi Melifonwu with the tackle.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it, Brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. On second down, here's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Texans on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12. Watson now to throw. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, here's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on second down, couldn't connect. Now it's third. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Operating from the gun. Carr. Now he'll escape to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. .47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll get this up only to about the 33.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Target.
Here's Watson now on second down. Dumps it complete to Miller. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because They have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. 3rd and 2, Watson. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. Cliff Averill in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Time for a break. Back to wrap up the AFC Championship game after this. Back to the ground, this time Lynch. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll run again with Lynch. Finds a seam inside the 40. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Marshawn Lynch saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Raiders have moved out in front. The extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now it's Ellington to return. And some room to work. And he'll return to the other side of the field.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Tiger! Two jet!
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 32 that time. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And the pitch goes to Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. He's back to throw. Able to shake him off. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
Tiger! Come back!
Back to throw. Flushed out right. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And it all rides on this one play, a trip to the Super Bowl in the balance here on 4th down.
Come back, come back.
Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, a Lombardi trophy would be nice to hoist. They have to hold off for that for a little bit. Right now, the Lamar Hunt has to feel good to hold.
Oh, it's got to feel great for them. And remember, Lamar Hunt helped create the American Football League, which became, of course, in most part, the American Football Conference. And he's the one who gave us the name Super Bowl.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got this grease on my back, carry it like a I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school that I made me some rats in the morning. I had me a beat by the morning. I had me some rats by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture. You got this picture me. Pacific ice on my ocean. Ready for war like I'm Russian. Ladies should never the luggage. My diamonds they tussling. My neck and my belly on. They call it for me and they. You want me like me and I look. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. Big Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go around, come around. Yeah. Whole squad. Yeah. Squad goes on me. Yeah. Make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah. Farrakhan glass for the chosen. Yeah. You can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth and who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag. Something to do with that. I got this grease on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning. I had me a beat by the morning. I had me some rats by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture.
You gotta picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Money goes on these.
the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's what truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a vision, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag.
Hey, this that Eastside Johnny Big Redemption like. Know what I'm talking about? Hold up.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah.
Yeah.
Get out the way, get out my way, yeah.
Yeah.
You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Win, 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 win.
Yeah.
Curve everything else. Win, 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 win. These ops ain't. Win, 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 win. Start chasing that. Win, 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 win.
Yeah.
Big J Rock go. On 10, 10, 10, 10. Exit at 4. Bring friends. Matt Black 2 dope. Jump in. You might wanna keep score. I win. Forearm tattoos. That's squad. All of them go. Don't try. I walk in room. They eyes wide. Third album come soon. I'm glad y'all gon' die. I ain't chasing after no. I got bigger plans than staying rich. I've been tapped in since I was 6. I tap dance all on them. And your diamonds like tap water. That drip way too foggy. These VVS is way awesome. Park CLS for drop to your death without warning. Get out the way, yeah. Get out the way, get out my way, yeah. You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Curve everything else. Win. These ops ain't. Win. Start chasing that. Win. You clowns really don't stay outside when I play outside. I put the beats on them like Dre outside. I got the bow side and LA outside. And if you act bad, I bring the outside. Go and get your money. None of my know some funny. I can tell real by who you're running with. I'm all in the field. Duck hunt. Hit my just and he was like, boop.
Here.
Knew just what it was. The whole and gave it back, boop.
Yeah.
9/11, no malice, baby. But no violence, baby. My got callous, baby. My bare knuckles got talent, baby. I'm all in the wind with it. On Deuce Line, I've been with it. She too fine, I've been crashed 2 times. I limo tinted my new ride. I'm riding with the 12 better not pull me over. Championship going dumb. Nothing to something I won. Get out the way, yeah. Get out the way, get out my way, yeah. You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Curve everything else. Win. These ops ain't. Win. Start chasing that. Win.
hoping I ain't lose religion. Text and prayer hands, hope the message sending on. Know I've been blessed, I've been seeing prophets, mostly yellow shirts, louder than the broccoli, dancing in my chucks, feeling out of body. Say the man got me on. Can you hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? All in my system, then the one I'm kissing. Why might extensions that'll look like expeditions on? Man, it's too loud. Hear me in your city, cause when I start spitting too much drive, need some power steering, cruising to a better vision, y'all. Can you hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Mama, dirty the roads that I've traveled, but I'm on my way. Mama, trust all the steps on my journey, 'cause I'll be okay. I know it's gotta hurt when you know you could've had a president. Guess that I would rather be the man. Maybe one day I'll go back to school. Think I'm probably kidding, but I still mean it. They've been trying to school me, but I've been a genius. Cali looking more like home since I made moves. Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now?
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now.